21st, 2021. Let's begin with our bullet points. Cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. The Yaoundé 5 and 6 is setting the pace for others to emulate as the city welcomes visitors for football festival. A campaign to keep the city clean is ongoing in these municipalities. The Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Productive Teaching Institute has brought forth 3 babies already in 2022. Advanced technology is yielding fruit thanks to the presidential couple. The reigning Africa champion Algeria has been kicked out of the 2021 Continental Football Bonanza in Cameroon. Algeria bowed to the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire by 3 goals to 1 yesterday in Douala in a game that was widely attended and watched by over 40,000 spectators at the Japuma Stadium. Those were top stories. I'll be right back. As you heard in one of our lead stories, the mayor of Yaoundé 5 municipality, Augustin Bala, has inaugurated a green parcel of 547 meters square and a cotton bench this Friday, January 21st, 2022. It falls in line with Mayor Augustin Bala of the Yaoundé 5 municipality to maintain its top position in cleanliness, which is next to godliness. Ruth Fonyon completes this story.
The Yaoundé 5 municipality inaugurated this Friday, 21st January 2022, a public garden with a space of 547 meters. The green space, situated at the Centre Hôpital de la CNPS source, is realized in the memory of the ever-first mayor of Yaoundé, André Fouda.
We're needing to something in the memory of André Fouda, the first mayor of Yaoundé, because here it is a village, and I was looking to somewhere when I can build something for him, and I'm very satisfied to have seen this place. And this structure is very important for the population because they are not obliged to go only in the center town in order to do some pictures, in order to distract, for their distraction. I think that is very important for young men, for old people also.
This space is the third in the council, and the mayor still has plans for more.
2 years ago, since 2 years ago, the Yaoundé 5 is the most clean town in Yaoundé. So we only want to continue, only want to pursue in that way, by cleaning every day, by making our council the most clean in the council, in the city. So it's our main objective to maintain Yaoundé 5 as the most clean council.
For about 2 years now, Yaoundé 5 City Council has been the cleanest in Yaoundé, and the mayor is not planning to relent his efforts, for he has seen that it was a great necessity for the population. The ceremony, which brought together many city dwellers, saw the cutting of the symbolic ribbon, which officially opened the way for pictures and sightseeing.
While the AFCON tournament in the country is in full swing, giving us unexpected results, the appearance of the city of Yaoundé at night looks great. With the flags of the 24 participating nations, the flowers and the lights at night is a great attraction to Yaoundé city dwellers. Many hope that this bright nature of the city continues even after the Continental Football Bonanza. Geraldine Nasser tells us more.
Since the festive periods getting into the AFCON tournament currently going on in Cameroon, the brightness of the city of Yaoundé at night is a beautiful thing to behold, characterized with light, beautiful flowers, statue of lions, and the various flags representing the 24 participating nations is an attraction to many Yaoundé city dwellers.
Really, I am very happy. It's so cool. Yaoundé is a very beautiful town. They have really decorated the town and it's so beautiful. If we can continue like this, it will be nice. After a tedious day at work, we can spend some time to admire the beauty of the town because it's so beautiful.
According to many, these decorations have given the town a new facelift, especially the beautiful light which symbolizes life, joy and hope.
Contrary to the face that Yaoundé had before the festive period, today we have another configuration of the city. That means that the town has put on a new face, the lights and the lions everywhere, with all the indications, make us to think we are in Hollywood, and it is good. Someone who lives maybe from the village and arrives in Yaoundé for the very first time, the person will be amazed. It also attracts tourists.
Nevertheless, this new phase of Yaoundé has made many to get to discover some areas, particularly tourists who are visiting the town for the first time. Many therefore hoped that this bright nature of Yaoundé has come to stay even after the AFCON competition.
The bilateral cooperation of Cameroon between Cameroon and Egypt has been described as cordial since 1960 when Cameroon got its independence from France. These cooperation ties was revisited during an audience granted to the outgoing Egyptian ambassador to Cameroon, His Excellency Medet Mohamed Kamer, by the Minister of External Relations, Logène Belambela, during the close to an hour audience where the diplomat came to bid farewell after his diplomatic mission to Cameroon. Both personalities discussed the bilateral cooperations between Cameroon and Egypt. The following report completes this story. The courtesy and farewell visit granted by the Minister of External Relations, Logène Belambela, this Thursday, January 20th, 2022, to the outgoing ambassador of Egypt, His Excellency Medet Mohamed Kamer, was a forum that revived cooperation ties between Cameroon and Egypt. In an exchange between both personalities during the farewell audience, the Egyptian diplomat expressed his sincere gratitude for the excellent bilateral cooperation both countries have and the structures carried out so far from 2017 since his presence in Cameroon.
There is no summary when it comes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of External Relations. This is the official body with which we work in every domain and in every field with our relations in Cameroon. So we talked about all the bilateral relations that we have between us. We talked about all the multilateral relations that is between us. I can tell you that we are certain and we are confident that the relations have reached a peak when it comes to good terms between the two countries. I am personally satisfied with what I have done here.
His Excellency Medet Mohamed Kamer pointed out that Egyptian projects such as La Famille Productivité that empowers citizens to undertake micro projects such as mat weaving, fisheries and other artisanal activities, especially for women and persons living with disability in the rural areas.
As you know, in diplomacy it's a work of continuity, so I am waiting for the new ambassador who replaced me to continue what I started and so that the wheel will still go on and enlarge the scope of our relation between the two countries.
Besides just a farewell audience, it was equally an opportunity for the Minister of External Relations, Logène Belambela, to propose further cooperation areas that could be explored, such as the field of innovative technology. The Cameroon-Egypt relations go back to a long time since the independence of Cameroon in 1960. These relations evolve to cover many fields of cooperation in the political sector, where both countries are keen on enhancing these relations throughout increasing coordination between their leaders. His Excellency Madat Mohamed Kamal will not leave the country until the end of the African Nations Cup, which is ongoing in Cameroon. And on to one of our bullet points, the Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Institute has brought forth 3 children already in 2022. Advanced technologies have made it possible for ladies and women who were able to conceive to now have children, thanks to the institute set up by the presidential couple. Staff Lady Ruth Fonyong tells us more in the following report. We find ourselves with 288 bodies. I think it will be a very good thing that we stop for some time to retrospect in our past.
The Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Hospital, specialized in the management of infertility, has again made its name mentioned by many. The reference institution recorded the very first baby for the year 2022 during the week, which weighed 2.9 kilograms of the male sex. The newborn, full of life, energy and vitality, cried so loudly to show he is in good health. His coming to this world put a broad smile on his mother's face, the 35-year-old woman whose quest for a child lasted 12 years.
I came and stayed here for 1 year in order to put to birth. I am grateful to the First Lady so that all women who have conception problems can come to Crise to obtain their solution.
No. This case was followed by 2 other pregnancies obtained by the introduction of fertilization.
She had hormonal problems with a tumor which was secreting in the hormones, which disrupted fertility, and we treated the patient from polycystic ovary syndrome, which of course is a problem.
The babies, all of the masculine gender, weigh 2.4 and 4.4 kilograms, all are in perfect health.
The President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, has been elected the President of the Economic Community of Central African States of Head of States and Government. He was elected during the 20th ordinary session that was held in Brazzaville recently, where Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gote represented the Head of State, Paul Biya. Let's get details in this report. The Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, mobilizes all its resources and energy to make Central Africa a region of peace, prosperity, and solidarity based on a unified economic and political space where each citizen moves freely in order to thus ensure sustainable and balanced development. 4 heads of state were present alongside other prime ministers and personalities who came to represent their various countries. The United Nations Secretary General's representative for Central Africa opened the ceremony with a speech and representative of the African Union. The need to strengthen regional integration, security, health and development strategy with Central Africa was on their menu. The President of Congo, Denis Sassou Nguesso, in his remarks, brought out the efforts made to improve security, economic growth and regional integration during his mandate as the President of the Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS. He equally invited other heads of state to put more effort towards addressing the pertinent issues such as putting in place a common market for the ECAS bloc. Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gote, personal representative of the Head of State, Paul Biya, with other heads of state, examined other issues regarding the functioning of ECAS. During the close of the session, many issues were examined in the area of security, health, development, and regional integration within member states. The 20th ordinary session of the Conference of Heads of States and Heads of Government of ECAS saw the election of President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo as the new president. The heads of states and heads of government dispersed with the appointment to meet in Kinshasa in August 2022 for the 21st ordinary session of the Economic Community of Central African States. Egusi, better known as lemon seed, has witnessed a drastic increase in price in the market for the past 2 months. A liter that was sold for 2,000 francs now stands between 2,300 to 2,500 francs. Meanwhile, a bag that usually cost 45,000 francs now stands at 55,000 francs. Even at these, forecasts still maintained that there will be no change in price of egusi within the next 2 months due to the dry season. Our reporter Geraldine Nasse went down to the Mokolo market in the nation's capital city, Yaoundé, where she met some egusi vendors and compiled the following report.
Egusi is one of the basic commodities that has taken hit in markets with increase in prices since 2 months now. Visiting the egusi sector at the Mokolo market in Yaoundé, the vendors say the prices have taken a rapid increase from a bag to various liters.
The prices of egusi now is too high as compared to before. Now, before we were buying the bag of egusi for 45,000 francs, 45,000, 46, 47,000 francs for the price of a wholesale price. But now like this, the wholesale price is 56,000. So at that time before, we were selling the pocket of 5 liters for 2,000, 2,200 at least, 2,000, 2,200 at least. Price of 5 liters now, we want to sell the price of 5 liters now for 2,500, so that in order to cope, to cope and to have our own gain.
These melon seeds that come all the way from the north region have varied prices depending on their types.
So there are people that they base in Garoua to buy from farmers and send it, we collect it here in Yaoundé. When customer come like that, we say that we have the big grain and the small grain, and the 2 types of egusi does not have the same price. Like the smaller grain is dearer than the bigger grain. We don't know whether it's because it's scarce in the bush or it's because it's more it's having more nutrient than the bigger one. We don't even know. If we are buying this one like this for 56,000, this one, the smaller one, is 60,000. But the normal cost price of this egusi cup like this must be 500 in order to meet up with our prices. So, but customer does not want to understand.
Buyers equally are complaining of the sudden increase, but have, however, taken some measures on their part in order to make gains.
I crack and do egusi pudding to sell in front of my house. Sometimes I sell in bars. We have a way of tying the bundles when prices increase. We are coping too.
No.
It is not really a business season for these egusi vendors, as they themselves cannot explain the reasons for the increase.
The profit is too small in order that if you don't take care, you will not even meet up. You either sell at a deficit. Yes. The profit is too small. It's too small. If you don't take proper care, we can never meet up because we pay taxes. Yes, what we try to understand now is that the farmers, the production is small. We don't even know because we earn our level here in Yaoundé.
These vendors, while hoping that prices will get better in the days ahead, are trying all they can to keep their customers alive.
And if you're just joining us, you're watching the 6 p.m. newscast on Camdays Television in the Queen's language. And on to one of our list stories, the Africa defending champion Algeria has been kicked out of the tournament. They met their doom yesterday in Douala at the Japuma Stadium during an encounter with the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, where they lost 3-1. Meanwhile, Equatorial Guinea equally defeated returnee Sierra Leone at the Limbe Omispor Stadium by 1-0 to nothing. Highlights of the game in the following report. The African Nations Cup defending champion Nigeria were knocked out of the 2021 edition on Thursday when they lost 3-1 to the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, who finished top in Group E. And it is all over again as the Foxes repeated history. The first time Algeria came to AFCON as defending champions after winning the 1990 edition, they were bundled out of the 1992 edition in the group stage as they came bottom of a three-country group that also contained the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. After winning the FIFA Arab Cup in December 2021, it was expected that the Foxes would be in a buoyant mode to defend their title, but it has all fallen flat in the hot and humid condition in Cameroon. Frank Kessie scored the opener from a good team move in the 22nd minute after Nicolas Pepe and Jinket had jinked his way into the box. Kessie's side foot finished was Elephant Ibrahim Sangare added the second with a free header from a free kick by Uriel. At the start of the second half, it was the Elephant who scored again through a delightful curled effort from Pepe. 9 minutes into the second half, it was all but game over for the Foxes of Algeria. Referee Gomez awarded Algeria a generous penalty in the 57th minute, but when it is not your day, everything goes sideways. A quiet Riyad Mahrez hit the right post as the left line faded. Cote d'Ivoire manager Patrice Boumel made sensible substitutions in the 68th minute as Wilfred Cannon came on for the Cadet Delhi goal scorer. Almost to the day, 20 years ago on January 30, 1992, the Foxes lost 3-1 to the Elephants. History was repeated on January 20, 2022. Defending champions are on their way back to Algeria, licking their wounds and hoping to turn everything around before the last round of World Cup qualifiers in March. In the other group encounter, Equatorial Guinea cemented their second round qualification with 1-0 win over Sierra Leone. The official round of 16 ties goes thus. Burkina Faso will face Gabon, while Nigeria will lock horns with Tunisia. Guinea and Gambia will have to tussle. Meanwhile, Cameroon will have a clash of titans with the Comoros Islanders. Senegal will face Cape Verde. Meanwhile, Morocco and Malawi have unfinished business. Cote d'Ivoire will face Egypt in another clash of titans. Meanwhile, Mali and Equatorial Guinea will equally have to decide who qualifies for the 8th round finals. The Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will face Comoros Island in the round of 16 of the ongoing continental football bonanza in Cameroon. They knew their opponents after results of Group E matches that were played yesterday in Douala and in Limbe, where reigning champions Algeria were beaten 3-1 by Cote d'Ivoire, and Equatorial Guinea defeated returnees Sierra Leone by 1-0 in Limbe. The Comoros Islanders are the third best in the Group C after beating the Black Stars of Ghana 3-2 at the Rumde Aija Stadium in Garoua during the group stage of the tournament. The following report tells us more.
Malgré le contexte de festivités liées à la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations Total Énergie 2021 au Cameroun, l'épouse du président de la République, première dame, Madame Chantal Biya, n'en oublie pas son engagement en faveur de la mère et de l'enfant.
With African Cup of Nations debutant Comoros Island in the round of 16 of the 2021 AFCON currently taking place in Cameroon. The Indomitable Lions had their fate confirmed after final Group E game staged on Thursday, January 20th, 2022. Two-time African champions Ivory Coast overpowered current holder Algeria 3-1 at the Japuma Stadium in Douala to end the group stage as pool toppers, while Equatorial Guinea silent returnees Sierra Leone 1-0 at the Limbe Omnisport Stadium. The results by Ivory Coast and Equatorial Guinea cancelled possibilities of a fourth final third-placed team from Group E as Sierra Leone and Algeria quit the competition with 2 points and a point respectively. The classification in Group E automatically brought in debutant Comoros Island into the round of 16 before final games in Group E of the ongoing biennial African Soccer Festival. Head coach Abdul Amiz Selekante was placed among one of the highest third-ranked teams after finishing third in Group C behind group winners the Atlas Lions of Morocco and the Panthers of Gabon. The Islanders defeated four-time African champions Ghana 3-2 at the Garouarunde Aija Stadium on Tuesday, January 18th in their final group fixture. The Colatans, who are in their maiden participation in the final phase of the Africa Cup of Nations competition, will clash with host and five-times African champions Indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the Yaoundé Olembe Stadium on Monday, January 24th, 2022. Cameroon ended the group stage of the competition with 7 points in Group A. We sincerely apologize for the hitches there, and it is here that we put an end to this edition of the news in the English language. Meet Chantal Yao at 8 p.m. for the news in the French language as the English news team takes a weekend break to be back on Monday. Do have a wonderful weekend in the company of our programs. Goodbye, thanks for watching, and happy weekend.
Bienvenue au Cameroun, un pays moderne dans la dynamique de l'émergence, moteur économique.